I'm Sam. I'm I'd say vocalist. I'm the vocalist. Sydney. I will say alternative metal band Storm. Um, yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks for joining us today, Sam.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So Fifth Dawn are gearing up for a three-day East Coast tour in February 2024, starting in Sydney on February the 2nd, then heading to Brisbane on the 3rd and finishing in Melbourne on the 10th. So not a bad way to start the year off.
Yeah, we're all very excited. It's yeah, it'll be good. We haven't yet played a show in Brisbane before, so yeah, that'll be very fun.
Now, looking at the name of the tour, is it the Closer Tour or the Closer Tour? Like, if you read it as Closer, it would definitely give a wrong impression.
Oh yeah, no, closer, as in yeah, um, getting closer to something. It's kind of like foreshadowing our album, so just a bit of a hint there. So yeah, that'll all be revealed in good time.
No worries. So for those that are unfamiliar with Fifth Dawn, tell us a bit more about the band.
Yeah, so we formed in 2015. We were all quite young when we first started, so it's been quite the journey. From the beginning, we've pretty much harnessed and this sound that we're still embodying. We're very proud of it. The kind of music that we're playing is definitely kind of what we want to be projecting into the world. We get a lot of comparison to, you know, would you say Evanescence, just with my sort of style of singing. So it's very like kind of like the powerhouse kind of quality of vocals, which we love. And yeah, we're blending more kind of heavy elements to our music as well, which is cool. So yeah, for those who are into that kind of thing,
Yeah, cool.
yeah, go check us out.
You're touring on the back of your most recent single, The Day Brings. So if that's all that someone's heard of the band, would you say it's a good representation of what to expect?
Yeah, definitely. That's The Day Brings is channeling that sound, the heavy what I said before about incorporating the heavy elements. Yeah, so that's pretty much what to expect and from our next record,
Yeah.
which will be dropping sometime this year. Oh, sorry, I should say next year.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So describe for us a typical Fifth Dawn live show. What are people expecting when they come to see you?
Yeah, just real big energy. I'm as a performer, I'm very kind of theatric with my stage presence. I really like to engage the audience through the music. Um, yeah, uh, hopefully they'll have a good time when they're there. Like I said, the music that we're releasing now is a bit heavier, so it's a bit more to kind of bop your head around too. But yeah, we're really excited to be playing a string of shows in February.
Now, I've never asked anyone this before, but as a band, what do you expect from your crowds when they come to see you?
What do I expect? Just to be immersed really in the performance. So we generally get a lot of good feedback after the show, but it's hard to kind of maintain a kind of high energy kind of crowd when you're not just like playing breakdowns left, right, and center. So our music is a bit more yeah, like kind of far away from that, but it's kind of heavy, like a lot of riffs, stuff like that. So yeah, I would expect that they're just enjoying themselves and immersing themselves and just kind of embodying the music and the experience. Really, that's all. That's what it's all about.
You'll be taking Aura Tech with you for the whole run of shows. So why choose them to be your touring partner?
What is it, Aura Tech?
Yeah.
Oh, I just think they're incredible. Like, she's an incredible front woman. Especially with her heavy vocals, we admire them greatly. So when we pitched them to support us to the tour, they jumped on board, which we were really happy with. Yeah, I definitely think that they're making some waves in the local heavy space in Sydney at the moment. They're definitely going places.
Yeah, for sure. And locally, you've got Noctica and Bridge Left to Burn in Sydney, Horizon, the Atomic Bow Project in Brisbane, New Million and 50/50 in Melbourne. So run us through those bands briefly and tell us why you chose them to support each city.
Yeah, so we did get some help with Kona Creative. So they're the mob that's running, well, that the booking agent that we've gone through. So a couple of the bands we were aware of just from going to shows and just kind of seeing what's going on online with the music industry. But there were a couple there that we were genuinely quite surprised at how great they were, and they were pitched for the bill. And yeah, as you probably can tell, there's a lot of female representation as well on this tour, which I'm really supportive of. And yeah, I just think it's great to have females more involved in the heavy music space.
Most definitely. Now, reading through your press release, it points out the band's cinematic orchestral arrangements in your music. So how difficult is that to replicate live, and how much of a presence, I guess, has that got in your live show?
Yeah, so we recently decided, because we have a synth player, so that obviously is a problem with that sort of thing. Like, we don't have anyone that can kind of replicate those sounds live, so we just have it through the backing track. Obviously you've got the organic instruments, yeah, because a lot of our music is very synth heavy, and have like electronic parts that I feel without it would really change the experience. It wouldn't be received very well, I think, just if you took all of those elements out of the music.
Now, you've mentioned the new album you're working on a couple of times now. I know you can't tell us too much about it because it hasn't really been announced yet, but how would you say the music on that differs to what you put out on your debut album, Duality, in 2018?
Yeah, it's probably a more refined sound. It's definitely heavier. When we were in this writing process, we decided that although we love what we're doing and we love what we did with Duality, we're all very influenced heavily by heavy music, and we love it, and we want to see how far we can kind of, sort of test the boundaries with that, with our own music. And so far it's been received really, really well. We just love it. We just want to kind of take it up a notch with our music, and especially with the energy and the engagement. Yeah, so but there's definitely still a balance of more powerful, kind of slower moving songs as well.
Mm-hmm. And will you be playing any new songs from that on the tour?
Yes.
Yes.
We have one song that we've introduced in the set that which will be our next single.
Yep.
We've got a single coming out in line with our tour.
Yep.
But the single after that, we played it for the first time on our most recent show in Sydney, and yeah, we're definitely going to be playing that one on this East Coast tour.
Before we go, where can people get tickets from for these shows?
Oztick. So yes, if you just head to our fan page, the link is in the bio. So the tickets will be accessible there. And yeah, and there'll also be tickets at the door as well for those that like to buy tickets at the last minute, which seems to be everyone, and I'm certainly guilty of that.
Yeah, I'll be all these days.
Yeah, we're all part of the problem.
All right, Sam, well, thanks very much for your time tonight. The Closer tour kicks off on February the 2nd in Sydney, so best of luck with it. I'll probably pop along to the Brisbane show and say hello.